Okay, so we are at Tzuba Winery with Paul, the winemaker. Paul, maybe you can tell us how you got involved in winemaking in the first place.
I've been making wine ever since I was a kid. I'm from South Africa originally. And my father used to basically make kiddush wine at home. And
did you have the grapes in your back garden?
Exactly, we had a little garage, a double garage where we had a few barrels, and every single year we made kiddush wine, and obviously every couple of years we made a few barrels of dry wine also. Some years with success, some years with less success. And as a kid growing up in Cape Town, obviously all the wineries in the area, we travelled a lot, went to the wineries, got involved with it. I arrived in Israel in 1996, where I was given the opportunity to plant the first vineyards on Tzuba. I planted the first 10 hectares, which we grew all for Castel. Obviously every single year I was involved with what was happening at the wine cellar there.
Did you go through like a university type course?
All sorts of courses.
So was it your childhood that made you want to get involved in it? Or?
Well, as soon as I started growing grapes, obviously every single year I made wine automatically. Bought a few barrels and a few tanks and everything and made wine.
You say you had a strong point on the wine process from the planting to the drinking.
Yeah.
There's many different areas that need. Is there one area which you think that you're spot on that?
Well, my main form of experience is a viticulturist, but my longest form of experience is making wine.
Right. So you have certainly a lot of the vineyards just grow their own and go elsewhere to settle them and find them.
Yeah, we grow everything ourselves. Also, I've learned how to grow the grapes in this area. This area wasn't a very big area for wine growing. So from the beginning till the end, I've started in the vineyard and just worked my way up. I've done all sorts of courses, chemical courses, whatever. I'm in charge of the lab, yeah.
And would you recommend a career in wine for those budding wineries? You think I'm sure it's a lot of work.
It's a form of art. Either you love it or you don't. If you don't like it, don't do it. If you like it, do it.
Okay, very good.
I think I'm one of the luckiest people. First of all, I do something I love. Second of all, I managed to do it on a kibbutz. And a kibbutz, the opportunity for job opportunities, isn't that great? So the majority of people do things that they don't really want to do. Yeah, I've got the opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do. I always knew I was going to make wine. I just didn't realize how quick it would come.
So you compared Tzuba to a new world winery.
Yeah.
I can first ask you about the corks you use. I see you're using.
We use natural cork from Cork Supply, Portugal.
The cork taint is a big problem in the wine industry at large. Do you have any opinions on this?
I haven't got a problem with corking. First of all, I think image is more important than cork. And if you are a boutique winery, you have to use natural cork. The Australians can allow themselves not to, but they've got government support. If you're going to be a real boutique winery and you want to keep the tradition, which everything behind tradition is cork. Same with barrels. We only use French oak because that is our style of wine and that is the tradition. We do use modern technologies, but we try to keep all the traditions. Your wines don't age well if you're using silicon corks.
And the screw top is other wineries in Israel are using screw top.
Our screw tops are new for the industries. I'm not an industry. I'm offering a fairly priced, exclusive product, and I think people expect to get a cork when they buy a decent bottle of wine and they pay good money for their wine.
And do you think your wine is good enough to be stored?
Yes. I wouldn't age my wines more than 8 to 10 years, especially if you're keeping it in the right conditions. Either you've got a cellar or you've got a wine fridge, for the simple reason that Israeli wines on a whole haven't got long aging. It doesn't matter what you do. We've got one big problem in Israel, that reaching sugar levels is not a problem, but reaching levels of phenol ripeness is a problem. And as soon as your phenol ripeness isn't at the high level, say as France, the wines will not age as long. Very few Israeli wines have got the ability to age over 10 years.
Plastic bottles is another thing that's coming onto the industry. By the sounds of things, it wouldn't be something that you'd be interested in, especially with things like shipping. It makes a big carbon imprint. They make a big difference.
First of all, if you look at the water industry as a whole, they're leaving plastic bottles out. They're starting to go backwards, going back to glass recyclable bottles for the simple reason that I think it's 2 to 3 years maximum you can keep water in a plastic bottle. Put wine with alcohol, which more than likely break down the plastic quicker than what water can do. The lifespan of the wine will more than likely be a year or two, if not shorter. I wouldn't even think of going in that direction. Today we're using good bottles. We don't use local bottles. We use imported bottles for the simple reason that the quality of the bottle is good. The same with our cork. We use expensive corks because the quality of the cork is good. I can buy cheap corks. I've got a very low rate of corkage in my wines because I use good cork and expensive cork. If I go for the cheaper stuff, I'm sure I'll have problems.